Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Science Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing New Access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the west, ending with Team 2 in the east. Starting off with Team 1's northern player, we have in Amethyst Purple, it is Boom King. So maybe we'll see some explosive tech from him. He is a UEF. He is a 1500. To his southeast, we have in Glow in the Dark Green, it is Smithers, playing as a UEF as well. He is an 1800. And next door to him, an Aeon here for Team 1, it is Puck Jr., playing as a 1500 in Tropical Ocean Blue. To his south, in Ruby Red, it is the Cybran player of Shalongdus. He is a 1300. And to his east, we have in Light Oak Tan, Cybran Commander, playing as, well, a Cybran, so aptly named there. He is a 900, and rounding out Team 1's lineup in the southwest on his own little section of the map, just barely. He is Obli Las Cybrans, playing as a UEF, Obli for short. He is a 2100, the highest bidder player on Team 1. Again, like I said, in Stitch Blue. So for Team 1 side of the map, they don't have any Seraphim tech, but they do have 3 UEF, 2 Cybrans, and 1 Aeon. Starting off with Team 2's southern player, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is Okpuk, playing as a UEF. He is an 1800. To his north, we have in Batman Gray, it is Paradox of War. He is a Seraphim, I believe the one and only of the game. He is a 1900. To his east, we have in Pac-Man Yellow, it is Hello Me Cheese. I think is how you say that name. I'm going to say Cheese for short. Again, Pac-Man Yellow, 1200. To his north, we have in Barbie Pink, it is Ozelot, playing as a Cybran. He is an 1100. I always want to say Ocelot for some reason. To his west, we have in Regal Purple, it is Space Monkey 007. He is a UEF. He is a 900. And to his northeast, we have in Emerald Green, it is the Aeon player of Waffles Noob. He is an Aeon for this match as a 2300. The highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. So for Team 2's side of the map, they do have the one and only Seraphim of the game, being Paradox of War. They also have 2 Cybrans, 2 UEF, and 1 Aeon. So all of the factions represented on Team 2's side of the map. The only faction missing for Team 1 is the Seraphim. And for these 12 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 61,000 mass in reclaim. And it's, what is that, 5,000, a little bit more mass per player. I did know that it's a little bit actually higher than that. Players have already scooped up a decent chunk of the reclaim, so I think it was about 70K actually, but we'll stick with a little bit over 5K to make the math in my head a lot easier to deal with. Taking a look, of course, at our mechs locations for our players to scoop up, of course, ignoring the main base mexes. Taking a look at Team 1's side of the map this match, there's 2 Trimex positions in the northwest that we see Boom King going after this one, and he has engineers going after the other one. There is, there's a splattering of mexes over here in the middle. It's kind of hard to really distinguish if that's a Trimex or not. In the south, there is another Trimex position and a couple of one-off mexes dotted in between the main players' bases. So not really a whole lot of mexes to grab. And with 12v12, it's not a full 20x20, so I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some early deaths, maybe 15 or so minutes in, maybe even earlier than that. We'll just have to see where our players are headed off to, which we do see both of the purple players in the game are headed off in the northern sections. It looks like it's going to be a 1v1, maybe 2v1. Again, there's really not really a lot of lanes in terms of traditional, top, middle, bottom, or left, middle, right, or whatever. So it's just kind of a open season in the middle of the map here. Maybe we'll see a little bit of splintering off in the southeast and northwestern corners, but I highly doubt that given the annoyance of traversing through the little ponds in this map. What the benefit, though, is that a lot of players have a lot of places to hide underneath the surface of the water. We do see that's all the players from Team 1 moving to the middle. It is Smithers and it is Boom King for Team 1. Team 2, similar story, but it's a little bit more than that. Paradox of War moving to the middle, as well as Space Monkey. We do see Team 2's Cheese moving into the middle, at least a little bit, to scoop up that reclaim. And pretty much we see some movement from Waffles Noob. but I don't see a heck of... Oh, no, we see more movement up. So, of course, the caster has to say something, and then either he jinxes it or jinxes himself or both. We do see more action from Team 2 moving. Team 1, we do see that Obli is going to head south, and it does look like Puck Jr. is going to move to the middle. So a father versus son, question mark, being Okpuck on Team 2 and Puck Jr. for Team 1. We do see no movement outbound from Shalongdis. He's probably the air player for Team 1, or at least one of. And I'm kind of surprised that we don't see more of an air focus from Obli, at least as of right now, because he is kind of isolated on that island over there. Same thing here for Team 2. So I expect at least, of course, one air player, if not two, for each team. T2 land already done for Paradox of War, going for the Ilshis, of course, the best T2 unit in the game, in my opinion. We don't see com-on-com action yet, but there are some pings going down in the northern section. Gun has been started for Boom King. We also see no other upgrades, unfortunately, from anybody as of yet. There is a transport that dropped off a couple of engineers from Waffles Nuke, but nothing really that much out of here. It looks like he did get a T1 land facility online, but it's not going to last much longer. There's a decent amount of Team 1 units nearby. Some Lobos are inbound to help deal with the rest of those structures, and that'll be a win for Team 1. We do see possible combi-com action in the north and in the middle here. Most likely in the middle is going to happen between Smithers and Paradox of War. We'll see if they actually trade blows or not. And we do see not really a lot of comms close together in the middle. Team 1 and Team 2 in the south. Gun already half done here for Team 1's Boom King. So again, trying to get the first upgrade done and ready to go. Maybe push back against Space Monkey 007. 70% and climbing. Comms still have not traded blows that I have noticed in the middle. And it looks like combi-com action will occur between Boom King of Team 1 and Space Monkey of Team 2. Makes it easy because it's both of the purple players in the north. Team 1 units inbound from both Space Monkey and Boom King to assist defense and offensive operations. Gun is done, and it will put the advantage for Team 1's Boom King. There is a decent amount of but rating difference here. It's 1,500 versus 900. It's a little bit more experience for Team 1's player over there to the north versus Team 2. Gun started for Cheese. T2 started here for Smithers for Team 1. And we do see Space is retreating. It does look like Boom King is now leading the engagement here. Drops his opponent into the yellow. Boom King still in the green. Should be dropping pretty... Yep, there he is into the yellow. Team 1 units having some nice skirmishes below these two players. But there are more reinforcements inbound, and Boom King not looking too hot. 3,000 hit points and falling, dropping into the red. This might be the first casualty of the game. Sub 9 minutes, and there he goes. He dies to Boom King. And it looks like that is a technical control K, but it was definitely a kill for Team 1's Boom King. So that it is now a 6v5 in favor of Team 2. Gun halfway done here for Team 2 in the south. That's for Cheese. Gun started almost done here for Paradox. T2 almost done for Smithers. Some more defensive for Team 1, more offensive for Team 2. Same thing in the south for Team 2. We do see two players inbound, one from Team 1, that being Puck Jr., and one inbound from Waffles Doom for Team 2, moving in to either capitalize or try to deny any sort of income or outbound aggression from either side. Gun is still progressing here for Team 2, but Gun is done for Paradox. So is the T2 upgrade for Smithers. He goes for T2 PD immediately, and Paradox of War starts to move in and start to eliminate some T1 annoyances in the middle of the map. T2 started onboard Boom King's comm that will give him a little bit more cushion in terms of hit points, and of course will be able to allow him to build some T2 PD and other structures. T2 started also in the south for Puck Jr., and Gun almost done for Cheese. T2 started for Cybran Commander in the almost main base. He's just kind of a little bit away from that. Does have a nice little Team 1 spam facility section up online. Lots of the hunters running around. It does provide, again, a lot of annoyances, but T2 PD, specifically the Cerberus PD, will be very useful for Team 2 to be dealing with that. But that and the lasers, you know, they are a good choice for the spamming units. Again, Team 1 PD is always nice, but in terms of longer range, you want to go for those rapid fire emplacements. Smithers really trying to keep Paradox of War here. He does have some reinforcements nearby. A decent amount of Ilshis to be concerned, of course. Team 1 spam is inbound from Cybran Commander to assist. And maybe we'll see Paradox of War and go the way of the Dodo Bird. Smithers has taken a hit as well from that commander and a couple of units nearby. Paradox is dropping into the mid-yellow, so not looking too hot for him. T2 started for Waffles, gun started for Shalongdus in the south, gun almost done here for Oxbuck, and gun started for Oblee in the south. But it is Paradox of War essentially eliminating all of the everything nearby for Smithers. Smithers really wants to get that T2, not T2 engineering suite, but that T1 veterancy online, which he does get. Not T1, but first star veterancy. I don't think he's going to get out of there. Pathfinding is not kind to Smithers, and that will be a kill here for Team 2, unless Paradox is kind, which he is not going to be merciful. He is going to go for the kill. And that is now a 5v5 game tied up here at 10, almost 11 minutes on the clock. Some cheering on from Waffles Noob to Paradox there. T2 done here for Waffles, going for sensor package, and now we have stealth started for Shalongdus. Guns and done for both Oblee and for Okpuk. Team 1 Torp launchers trying to dissuade Okpuk from using the water to hide from his opponent. He has a couple of Team 1, actually a couple of them online, surprisingly, for Oblee. He has a sonar system down here. And another one, so making sure that there's no sneaky maneuvers in the water from Team 2. So interesting use of tech there. And I don't really expect that much Navy in this map, but using bricks, Percies, anything that can go underneath the surface, that's going to help out a lot of Team 1 being aware of that, or at least specifically Oblee. Gun done here for Shalongdus. He's now done with his nano upgrade as well, and of course his stealth upgrade, which is always a prerequisite to the nano upgrade for the Cybran faction. Gun started for Puck in the middle. It is the speed upgrade, so again, I should say junior, in the middle of the map. It does look like the base, once belonging to Smithers, does get gifted over to him. And the base, once belonging to Space Monkey, gets gifted over to Paradox. Probably a little bit of that income helped fuel the incoming aggression that we saw earlier and continue to see from Paradox. He is falling back. At this point, he can probably just sit right about here and go for nano. He doesn't have to walk all the way home, but if he doesn't want to put his comm back on the front lines, then I'd understand walking all the way home. T3 started here for Waffles Noob in the north as well. So again, we see a little bit of the sensor package upgrade, providing some nice little intelligence for Team 2. And of course, the intelligence from Team 1 from those sonar systems. We do see T3 gunship online for Oblee, and we have Shalongdus pushing him with his gun and nano commander. He got up there very quickly. Looks like possibly transported over there. Not teleported, but transported. Okpuk going for missile, getting some T2. Is that T2? Yeah, T2 engineer assistance. And interceptors over the top, trying to deal with the gunship. They will kill him. We have some Janus over the top going after Shalongdus' comm. We have Cheese in the mix as well. Missile is loading pretty quickly on board Okpuk's comm, and Janus is still continuing to fly overhead. This could be a snipe on Shalongdus' comm, but Okpuk is going to get on the transport. Maybe, possibly, maybe. No, he doesn't. He gets out of there. ASF inbound to take out the transport. Cheese getting out of there. Missile outbound from Okpuk. Misses the comm. Barely almost got him. And it looks like both of the red players will get out of danger, at least for a little bit. Shalongdus still on fire and still receiving fire from his opponent of Okpuk. And that might be a kill here, but in the east, Oblee walks down Cheese. And Shalongdus is still alive. And that is a win here for Team 1, dropping the game to a 5v4. And it does look like Shalongdus is out of danger for the most part. ASF cleaning up the Janus from Team 2. And Oblee also gets out of there. Okpuk is in the red. He is being shot by a gunship currently. A couple more moments and he will die here. It does look like maybe Oblee will go for some torp launches to assist if he does get away, but I don't think he's going to, and Team 1's going to score a nice little double kill here. There it is. Double kill for Team 1. Drops this game to a 5v3 in favor of the Western team of Team 1. And again, one of the only downsides to killing off this many players early in this game, and any game specifically, is that other players are going to get more bases, more mass, faster scaling. Faster scaling equals big opportunities for some stuff that either blows up or shoots from very far away or generates infinite cash or any of those interesting things that we love to see in this game. T3 still coming on the way here for Waffles Nuke in the north. And I think most of the comm action has pretty died down. We do see 4 players out of the 5 for Team 1 pretty far forward. They're about the middle of the map here. Team 2 only has Waffles Nuke closer to that middle section of the map, at least the cut down the middle. And the other 2 players for Team 2 are in their main bases. We do see Team 1 taking advantage of the lack of APM, or the lessening of APM for Team 2, and starting to push in 3 different avenues. Maybe we'll see something from Boom King, but it looks like he's focused on upgrading something or repairing something. I don't know what he's doing. Looks like he's dealing with the units over here to the east. TAC missiles inbound from Team 2, I would imagine. Yep, Serpentine, but it does get shot down by that buzzkill. The UF can really be a buzzkill once in a while. Gunships ripping apart mexes down here to the south. And they are Team 1 mexes, but when we're considering the ecos, Team 2 is in the lead. Every little bit of mass killing for Team 1 is better than nothing. And that lead will again slowly drop. It'll take a minute to really come into full fruition, but you know, that's 4 mass, 6 mass, 12 mass, 20-something mass, 21 mass. So that number does start to take a toll. T3 ASF producing facilities online for Waffles Noob down here. Waffles Noob. Oh, that's weird. It says Waffles Noob, but it's not. Anyway, that's actually for Paradox, T3, and they are all T3 facilities for Team 2. Team 1, T3 Air, of course, T3 Air, and everybody else is T3 Land or Land focusing. And Cybran Commander not getting any sort of T2 or T3 tech online. I wonder what he's focusing on. He's only producing 64 mass a second, but Ocelot is also producing only 71. So again, focusing on different things. ASF fight over the top of the base here for Paradox. It looks like the fight will barely go to Team 2, but it's kind of going to be the case for now, considering Team 2 has 3 T3 air headquarters and Team 1 only has 2. So just in terms of numbers, in terms of the headquarters, Team 2 will be a slight lead for that. But trying to micro 3 different air forces, probably not a good idea when you have 3 players remaining. Probably gift over, the main group of forces to one person, and then maybe have a backup for a secondary person. But trying to do 3 air players and deal with land and all the other things, that's really going to hurt the APM, especially for Team 2. Team 1, again, the similar situation, but only having 2 air players, everybody else focusing on land for the most part. That's kind of going to be the trend for a little bit. Tons of T3 Harbingers inbound from, who's that? That's Puck Jr. inbound to just ravage essentially the secondary line for Team 2. They're just going full north. They're not going to any bases. They're just going to rip everything apart bit by bit by bit. And this will eliminate a decent amount of mass, at least on the front line for Team 2. Team 2 is still in the lead, however, at about 100 mass. Actually, no, excuse me. Team 1 is in the lead. I read those numbers wrong. Team 1 is in the lead at about 100 mass per second. That is going to definitely favor Team 1 as they kill more and more of that mass off. We do see Paradox walking around with this nice little T3, T2 force. Shalongdis is pretty far forward with a Soothsayer and some Team 1 spam from Cybran Commander. So not looking too hot for him. If Team 2 takes the fight, they will probably win it. Transport inbound to drop off integers. Probably should pick up the comm, but has to watch out for any sort of AA or ASFs inbound. We do have ASFs from Team 2 sitting in one of Paradox's bases to the north. And there is an attack coming to the north, coming after the Hovertech units from Waffle Snoop. Again, he's underneath the surface, can't fire his gun or anything, but he does have some units that have hover that can fire back at Team 1. Frontline base here for Shalongdis is down. Not really long-lived it was, but lovely attempt nonetheless. It gave a little bit of intelligence, but again, like I said, not really long for this world, at least for now. We do have Oblee running around the southern side, getting a couple of mexes, and Team 1 is starting to run away with it a little bit in the eco situation. Harbingers inbound to assist with counterattacks. Paradox only has gun on board, but does have 3-star efficiency. Has some parashields, both T2 and T3 inbound, so that's 13,000 hit points in terms of shield capacity. Helps to dissuade a lot of incoming fire. T2 units starting to storm the gates to the north. Waffles Noob trying to fight back. Team 1 PD being spammed up. He's staying underneath the surface so he doesn't take damage. Actually, His head is actually exposed, so I think Team 1 can target him. No, they can't. I think he's just not fully exposed with his head, maybe? Now he is exposed. Let's see if Team 1 can see him now. Yeah, they can see him now. Okay, I was going to say, I feel like they should see him. But a couple of T3 mexes will probably survive the mass storages. Some of them were killed off, some of them were not. But Team 1 PD being spammed up very, very quickly. Focus on the T3 mex has occurred, and they probably will grab maybe one of the three, which, you know, that's a decent amount of mass per second that Waffles Noob is losing. And Team 2 is still trailing Team 1 by almost 200 mass now. So, again, every little bit helps of Team 1 getting the lead here. 20-something minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 5 players left, only losing Smithers, as I think it was kill number 2 in the game. Team 2 losing Okpuk, which was the most recent kill. Cheese before him, and Space being the first eliminated in the game. It is, again, a 5v3 in favor of Team 1. Team 1's map control definitely is a higher percentage than Team 2. Exact what that percentage is, 52% to 48%, 51%, 49%. It's a little bit fluid at this point, especially with Team 1 and Team 2 fighting over the middle. But I'd say it's definitely favoring Team 1, but not by a huge margin. And in terms of the eco situation, Team 1 definitely getting a lead there. 1.1 versus, let's say 800 to make the math easy. So about 300 mass in favor of Team 1. That is a lot to be ahead at 21 minutes. It makes me think somebody might be going for maybe an artillery piece or nuke, something soon to spend some of that mass. I don't know, maybe we'll see some storming of the gates for T3, T4 units, but who knows, players like to have their fun times with T4 tech, depending if it's mobile or not. Stop pinging, Cyber Commander, we see this, says Shalongdis, so he's probably pinging this. T2 gunships coming in to support. They are Renegades from Ocelot. Oh, I knew I would say it. I knew I would say it at some point, but Ocelot. No, I didn't say Ocelot. I said Ocelot, didn't I? I think I did. Laser started for Shalongdis, not even going for cloaking first. Does he even have the power for that? Oh, he does. I don't think he has the power. He might have the power for cloaking, but definitely not for teleporter. ASFs wipe out the gunships pretty quickly for Oblique. Couple of T3 Percys running around the south, and some Titans to boot as well, if those are actually Titans. Yes, they are. Running around taking out some mexes for Oblique. ASF expansionary efforts are still occurring here for him and for his northern teammate. Actually, no, it's just one T3 air facility, so not a lot of ASF producing facilities for Team 1. Team 2 has one main air grid here, a secondary one here, nothing up there to the north, and then a small one starting to emerge down here as well. So Team 2 putting a lot of emphasis on air. Team 1 will start to probably win the land game because of the focus on air from Team 2. But again, Team 2 does have 500 mass per second for Waffles, 400 mass for Paradox. So those players that do have multiple bases are producing a lot of stuff very, very quickly, to be fair. So we'll see how that affects, again, Team 2 long term. Team 1 is more of everybody's producing, I don't say roughly the same mass, but more of a median versus a oh shoot, what's the number term for outliers? I'd say that'd be the word for Team 2's mass situation in terms of income per second. Boom King sitting underneath some water. Is he going for an upgrade? He is. Is it? Looks like it's left arm or his right arm, depending on how you look at it. I would assume that's T3 Engineering Suite on board or coming on board. We have a couple of units holding position, waiting to be given the go-ahead. There is a T2 artillery in the mix, which will be killed off immediately once those Percys come into range. And that base for Team 1 will be eliminated. A couple of gunships still running around, taking out a couple of those roaming units from Team 2. Upgrade is done for Oblique. It was T3. Maybe missile. Maybe missile. Ooh, maybe Billy Nuke. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. The Billy Nuke ambassador is not here, so it's a lower chance that we'll see a Billy Nuke. But, there are 1, 2 UEA players for Team 1 still remaining. Team 2 has none, so there's a non-zero chance. Cybrin Commander has finished an experimental. He has T3 Air online, and he's going for more T3 mechs. He has a nice little monkey lord. Team 2 has no experimental yet that I've noticed. Doesn't mean they're not building one, but I don't see one, or at least one that I can actually understand what it looks like. Anyway, Boom King being forced back, but getting some reinforcement assistance from his teammate of Puck Jr. Again, it's Percy's versus Harbingers, so the Percy's don't move as fast, but they do more damage per shot. And those are actually Titans and Harbingers, not just Harbingers. So they will not do as good in terms of the Percy threat, those Titans, but the Harbingers are the mainline unit for the Aeons, so they are comparable in more versatile means with their shields and their reclaim ability and whatnot. We have a conga line down here to the south, a couple of gunships stacking up on top of it. Team 2's ASF count for Waffles Noob currently sitting at over 100. And Team 1, let's look at Oblique because he's really the main air player for Team 1. 43, so air dominance for Team 2 at 25 minutes. That is definitely going to, that's obviously one of the indications that they're going heavy gunship. It's just because Team 2 has more ASFs. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win at 25 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe. And if you haven't, why not? You've already watched 25 minutes. And hopefully you've been enjoying the match, of course, as always. Enjoying the day off if you don't work on Friday, or you watching this video on Saturday, depending on what time zone you're in. Or it is Friday, and hopefully you're enjoying your Friday. Or whatever day you're watching it. Could be Friday in the far distant future. Could be the day after the video comes out. Could be Saturday. Who knows? Whenever you're watching the video, hopefully you're having a good day. And hopefully you are enjoying, as always. There are a lot of T3 gunships here for Waffles Noob. It's a little bit concerning if Boom King pops out of the water and Team 2 notices that might be a kill or opportunity for Team 2. Should walk up to green with Calm, says Smithers to Shalongdis. He does have cloaking on board as well. Ooh, that would be a little nasty to be able to just walk up and say hi. Again, I am a proponent of the cloaking laser defense. The offense, it is very finicky only because there's a lot more Omni sensors already online by the time players go for cloaking laser offense. And so it kind of makes it a moot point at that point. But as of right now, Team 2 does have Omni, but only in the south that I've noticed. And that's the range with the red circle. They will notice, of course, stuff in the air, because not a lot of stuff in air have stealth either capabilities or actually have them enabled, if they do. There is a T2 sensor here. Is that up in the T3? No, it is not. And it does not look like Waffle Snoop has T3 Omni in the north as well. Spy planes flying over top. We'll see along this, or if there's a satellite, which doesn't exist right now that I've noticed. So pretty much everything that has Omni is not active. We do see he's just slowly hipping and hopping over there. And it looks like he's going to walk across the pond. Yep. And we do see Raz coming on board here for Waffles. The only unfortunate thing is now that Waffles is in the water, the laser is ineffective and will not be able to kill him off. But yeah, Torpedo, Team 2's Waffles will probably notice and get out of the water. So that won't really work. And you can't have Torpedo and laser on board. There's just one or the other. So that is kind of the situation the Sirens find themselves in. There is a nuke online, not loaded yet, but it is online for Oblee. So he's starting to think about how to end the game at 27 minutes. And Shield is coming online for him as well, making sure he is nice and cozy underneath a T2 shielding of his own making. Not a lot of experimentals yet here for Team 1 or Team 2. It's just the one monkey down here and the one GC up here. We did see a GC being built for Waffle Snoop over here. It's half done. I don't see much of anything else in terms of T4 units as of yet from anybody else, like I said. And it's just air grid expansions and land expansions. That's really about it. We do see another engagement to the north. It is GC versus Percy's and a couple of assisting Percy's and other T4 units from Team 1. The GC probably will be fine. Again, every time I recognize the hit points, please, devs, add the 1 HP on board of the GC, because why not? Or you can keep it and have it be a meme at this point. But, you know, I would appreciate it. just 1 hit point, because why not? We do see the pings going down for the GC. Shalongdis is nearby. Absolutely 0 AA. Let's go, says Waffles Noob, talking about this position here. Yep, there's no AA. GC is down. But the land army will win the day here, at least the reinforcement army. Gunships are inbound. Macam of Shalongdis has made his appearance. Laser is activated. We do see a Omni sensor array being built immediately. Once it's done, Team 2 will see him. The Team 1 PD is not in range, and there goes the T2 PD, though. And GC is online, and guess where that's going? Shlong's is like, get out, go, 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 gotta go. Gotta go right now. And there he goes, diving underneath the surface of the water. Oh, but will he get there in time? Ground firing still happening. Oh, looks like it was ground firing. Shlong just gets out of there with 3,000 hit points remaining. Almost a botched assassination attempt, even though Waffles Noob wasn't there. Air fight may have occurred if I did. Nope, did not occur yet. Team 2 at a ton more ASFs than Team 1. Waffles Noob currently sitting at 200 ASFs, and Team 2's Obli is sitting at probably less than that. Obviously less than that, 80. So more than a 2-to-1 advantage for Team 2. You can see that being evidenced by the fact that they are pushing on land, with gunships dealing with the Harbingers and remaining Perseus. If there's any more at this point for Team 1, doesn't look like there are. Ocelot done with T2, going T3 now. And again, not a lot of experimentals from Team 2 or from Team 1. We've seen the GC, and that is it that I've seen from Team 2. Team 1 built a GC and built a monkey. Looks like number 2 monkey done for Cybrin. And yeah, that's about it. Artillery, no artillery yet for Team 1 or Team 2. No, GC production in full swing for Puck Jr. And Fat Boy has been started for Boom King. ASFs being split up by Team 2's ASFs, trying to get out of there as much as possible and retain as many ASFs as possible. Gunships will not stand a chance in that ball of ASFs. And Team 1's player of Shalongdis is defeated by T2 Tort Bombers from Waffles Noob. And that is a kill here for Team 2, dropping the game to a 4v3. Looks like, yep, he was still in range, so he could see him. And nice counter. Again, that is the downside with the cloaking laser is Omni defeats it pretty easily. Not defeats its, again, the laser capability, but the cloaking capability at a minimum. It helps to curtail the laser if you can stop it from getting close to you, but at a minimum, it at least prevents somebody from hiding. Cloaking started here for Team 2's player of Ocelot, the only remaining Cybrin on Team 2. Team 1 still has Cybrin, so there's still a telemaser opportunities for both teams. ASF's having a nice little tussle in the south. Gunships inbound to snipe the Monkey Lord. And ASFs will cleave away at least a section of the ASF count for Team 1. Gunships probably will not kill off the Monkey Lord, but it will do damage enough to force it and keep it in the water for now. There is that Monkey Lord going back to base as we speak. Nuke is almost loaded. It will fire, it looks like, immediately. And it is going straight for this mass field that Team 2 is desperately trying to clean up immediately. Team 1, 2,000 mass per second. Team 2, 1.6k mass per second. Reclaim totals are favoring Team 2 by the minute, obviously driven by the reclaim field that just happened moments ago. 120,000 mass on the field, roughly double what we saw at the beginning. So lots of mass to go around. Nuke has been spotted by Team 2's Okpuck, and that nuke is going to fire. Does Team 1 have adequate SMDs? Yes. And yes. And no. Oh, yes. It's not loaded yet, but pretty much would be loaded if it fired at the base. Nuke is launching now. Love to see these things fire from their silos as it just stays open for 10 minutes. Game. Is it not going to fire? That's... Usually it fires by now. I'm not, like -10 or whatever. That is weird that it's just sitting open like that. Gunships moving in, taking out the soothsayer. So recon and intelligence gathering for Team 1 knocked out. There it goes. Wow, that took a while to fire. I have no idea why it stood open that long, or sat open so long. Usually it opens, you wait a couple seconds, and then it fires and it closes, but it stayed open for a minute. There goes the nuke. It's going to take out all the T3 forces and a lot of the hit points on the GC and eliminate a lot of the mass in reclaim in that position on the map. Tac Nuke has been started and almost done for Boom King, so Billy Nuke is soon to be online and firing. It looks like Team 2 has spotted the nuke, and it's a little too late. Most of those forces will be eliminated, unfortunately. It will prompt another land push from Team 1, but there it goes. Kaboom! Wipes out almost everything and takes out a huge portion of that GC's hit points. I should have looked at the reclaim field before the nuke went off, but in terms of the nuke killing off stuff, 34,000, definitely a good nuke considering it targeted only units and technically mass reclaim, but that doesn't really count. 3 Monkey Lords running around here for Cybrin. He has the 2 healthy ones and the one that's been wounded. from the gunship attack earlier on. Team 2 has a GC and a couple of T3 forces, but not a whole lot. There are more inbound from the south to help assist, but again, it does weaken that front. Lots of Team 1 spam facilities coming online for Ocelot, and Laser has been started for him as well. He finished that cloaking upgrade, going for Pigeons, it looks like, to fuel said income, and well, not income, but ability to keep that thing active and running. Waffles Doom finishes an experimental. Is it an air one? No. Was it donated over by somebody? Because I do not see it. If I am blind, I apologize. Oh, up here? Oh, it's done. Yep, Waffles Doom is done. GC up there to the north. GC's leading the charge. It's GC versus GC. Galactic Colossus losing its one eye, all-seeing eye. GC is about to fall. Shielding, barely keeping it alive for long, not much longer. GC will survive for Team 1. Airfight will probably happen. Ocelot sends his ASFs in. They get wiped out pretty easily by Team 1's superior numbers in terms of that Air Force, but the huge Air Force for Waffles Noob. Over almost 300 ASFs for him. That is, we have air soon-to-be territory. Team 1's Oblique sitting at 63 plus an additional 27. So let's just say 100. So we have air is roughly 200 more ASFs than your opponent. So yeah, that's definitely air dominant. Not air dominance. We have air for Team 2. Surprised there's not a lot of bombers or anything else like that. We've seen some gunships, but nothing too much out of Waffles Noob. We do see the north, and he's sending some forces. His own GC is inbound to assist. It kind of looked like it was sitting on his shoulder the way I was zoomed in on that GC and the forces over here. Team 1 has claimed a reclaim field now. That's a lot of mass to scoop up. 61,000 plus right there. Definitely worth trying to hold on to. Another GC is done. Producing another one here. And he started an artillery piece already half done for Puck Jr. And it looks like that's the only one that I've noticed. Oh, nope. Second one down here for Oblique. I think that one will finish before his teammates. And nothing up here for Boom King. Boom King living up to his name, producing some Billy Nukes on board his back there. And he should skyrocket to 5-star veterancy here with the Billy Nuke firing, I don't want to say consistently, but at least at some sort of regular intervals. 3 Monkey Lords walk into a bar. ASFs inbound to assist with protection of the bombers in Team 1 variety, and T3 gunships. ASF fight will happen. But Oblique trying to get out of there, but you know, it's not really going to do that much damage to Team 2's ASF, so it's not worth the fight in his mind. One bomber just run instantly kills off that first Monkey Lord. Second one about to die due to assisting Ravagers and Percy's and the whatnot. And third Monkey Lord will die very, very quickly. So Team 1 loses 3 Monkey Lords pretty much instantaneously. Again, that does add a nice little clumpage of 36,000 reclaim. Mostly Team 1's, couple of bombers and whatnot dead, but that's pretty much Team 1's monkeys there. Again, definitely worth scooping after. Team 1 continuing to charge forward. The GC dead from, looks like that is actually a Paradox of Wars, maybe transferred over from Waffles Noob. And Team 1 bomber trying to assist with taking out this GC from Team 1's remaining from Puck Jr. Tons of Team 3. Are there any Team 2 flak in there? Doesn't look like it. And a chicken was killed off at some point. That GC walking into the Ion Storm. It does end, luckily for him, but took unnecessary damage. Looks like, again, they're trying to just slowly erode the entire front line horizontally instead of just going knife or scalpel straight through the middle and going into a main base. Artillery done for Team 1's Oblique. Artillery done for Puck Jr. That's number 2 for Team 1. And artillery targeting the SMDs. It looks like definitely a smart play from Oblique. A best way to be efficient with the mass blow up stuff is just go after a nuke. But artillery. ASFs knock out a Harbinger threat that I would assume would go after that SMD. Team 2 thwarts that, but the shields are down, and it's only going to take one nice little artillery placement, and that's going to be dead meat. Oh, and as I say it, there it goes. Sorry to jinx you there, Paradox Award, but your base is going to get nuked if it's loaded, which it is. Are you going to fire it? Are you going to fire it? Are you going to fire it? No? Okay, be like that. And I'm gonna fly away, and then it'll come, 2 seconds, 3 seconds later. They'll hear the message and be like, gosh dang it, I should have just played it. Anyway, GC and Ythotha still online. The Team 1 force was defeated, or at least thrown backward. GC still charging. There are a lot of Ravagers down here. And there's the nuke. See, I just had to wait 10, 15 seconds. Going for that base. Is it going to get clipped by an SMD? Doesn't look like there is an SMD in the area, so that base will be gone. That was an air grid dead for Team 2, as well as a lot of power. GC will die here. There is no chance of queuing that chicken off with the additional support. And the Ravagers is ripping it apart. And it looks like the artillery is now targeting the SMD, actually SMD air grid-ish for Team 2's Waffles noob. And there's 2 artillery pieces landing, obviously from Obli and from Puck Jr. Is he building a second one? No, but explosion in the east. There goes the nuke. Kaboom! Wipes out a huge chunk of the air grid power reserves and whatnot for Paradox of War. That's really going to hurt the pocketbook. But there goes the Cascade. Ooh, that's got to hurt. And Paradox of War Control K's is like, nope, I'm done. See you, bye. I'm done with the artillery and the whatnot. So he Control K's, guys. Why'd you make artillery? It's no fun, says Waffles Noob. Could have made them 10 minutes ago. And it looks like he also Control K's to the northeast, leaving Ocelot, the last remaining player on Team 2. Why didn't you? Do you want fun? Because of T3 artillery. No, I hate fun. That's why I'm building T3 artillery. This Waffle Noob. But wait, you don't. I don't get it. While it's too long, this is confused. Anyway, I'm being ironic. I guess Control K is even more fun. Anyway, a little bit of salt. Gotta have some salt when you have some delicious meals and delicious casting as it is. Anyway, GC pushing the chicken, and now it's just going to be a slow erosion. ASF's inbound, trying to go after, I don't know what they're going after, transports and whatever else they can get their hands on. I don't see any ASFs. I don't see any T2 fighter bombers or gunships or Team 1 bomber. There are some of that, but it's just ASFs are just going to die, it looks like, at this point. And I think Ocelot kind of knows. I would rename Noffles Woob if I was you. It's harder to say. And it looks like second artillery piece done for Oblique, going for number 3. And Nuke, of course, has killed off 118,000 mass. I feel like at this point I can speed it up just a smidgen, just because we kind of know the way it's going. The APM obviously favoring Team 1. Players left alive obviously favoring Team 1. Team 1 could lose 3 players, and maybe Team 2 would have a chance. But depends, A, who those 3 players are, and B, it just depends on what the state the bases are in when they die. If they are like this, it's still going to be hard pressed for Team 2 to fight it back. But we'll see if he Control Ks or he sticks with it. Nuke might be inbound. There is an SMD here as well, so it's not going to be completely a win there. And there's another SMD there, so it's 3 SMDs here. Artillery landing at the small little air grid to the northeast. Air headquarters is down, so he loses Cybran ASFs. And not a good place to stand, cloaking next to a power generator. Not a good place to stand at all. GC's coming in from the little hook maneuver hill like thingamajig to the north there. Fat Boy in full retreat. Billy Nukes. I've been paying attention that much. Have been launched from Boom King. Laser done for him in the sky. He's moving it eastward, and he said, yeah, we'll see both GCs are dead. Artillery still raining in here from Oblique, going after that SMD. Now it looks like he's transitioned to that one, because I guess that one was more annoying to deal with. But attacks in the south, couple of T3 Percys, couple of Team 1 Lobo. Sorry, those are Medusas, apologies. But there's just not a whole lot left for Team 2 to fight back with. There is a dead Ythotha in the middle, and GC to the north. Still no Billy Nukes outbound from Boom King. I don't understand. Build a Billy Nuke and then don't use it. Maybe because he knows it's going to get shot down by Team D, which is probably why he's saving it. No sense in wasting a Billy Nuke if you know your opponent can easily deal with it. And artillery still raining in from Puck Jr. going after this SMD. And it will take out the shielding around it. This SMD that was there is gone. That SMD is gone. One more needs to fall, and Team 2 is exposed entirely. And there it goes, literally as I say it. That is the last SMD that Team 1 needs to be concerned about. Nuke is loaded. And will you fire immediately? No, you won't. I'll scroll away. I'll fly away. And he will fire it. There is an SMD up here to the northeast, but it's only protecting a couple of Team 3 mexes, which will eventually be eliminated by satellites anyways. Also, there's 2 satellites online. The UEF doing UEF things. And with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artillery pieces, soon to be 6 artillery pieces online, that's pretty much going to be it for Team 1. Even if the land is a complete disaster now, 6 artillery pieces, it's not going to be long before Team 1 takes out everything that Team 2 has. Another section of, looks like mass FAF goes down. That's going to hurt Team 2's eco. Team 1, 2.4 to 1.2, so doubling Team 2, I should say, Ocelot's eco. Nuke still hasn't fired, coincidentally enough. Don't know why. I mean, everything is exposed. I don't know if Team 1 can see where the comm is, maybe. Well, they have an eye literally right on top of them. They just don't know it. Or they do know it, and they're trying to track the footsteps. And artillery taking out the mass fabs right here. Nice little, looks like it's a template. Looks pretty nice, but it's very explosive and volatile. Ocelot takes a lot of AoE damage from the volatile explosions and drops him to 10,000 hit points. Takes another artillery shot, maybe? Nope, just barely got missed by that one. There's no way Team 1 knows where he is. No, they don't know where he is. Okay, I was going to say those are just some lucky shots, I think. 44 minutes on the clock. Like I said, Team 2, I mean, Ocelot still holding it in. And props to him for not control Kang, even though, I mean, 2 players control Kang back-to-back like that. He probably sensed that this was going to happen in the sense that, you know, after those 2 players control Kang, it's pretty much going to be a loss for him. But he's sticking with it, so props to him for not control Kang and just continuing with the match. Because I feel like not every player would do it, but I feel like there's a higher percentage of players be like, no, it's not worth it. Well, I'll just control K. The match will be lost. We'll just play another one. And players are more focused on just playing another match rather than just doing or just continuing a match they know is doomed. Boom and Nuke to the north. Now we hear one fired and see one fire from Boom King. There it goes. Puck Jr. It says he won the game. Looks like maybe artillery strike hit him. Don't see exactly what hit him. Possibly they were just going for whatever. Maybe he just control K'd. I couldn't tell because the message popped up too quickly, but that is not what I wanted. But that is going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. MVP for me. I mean, the Nuke definitely helped out a decent amount for taking out at least one base for Team 2. And then the second, was there a second Nuke? I don't think there was a second Nuke. I think it was just the one. No, there was 2 nukes. It took out the mass field over there to the north. I don't think it had that much of an impact. It definitely helped the artillery. Not because the artillery did a lot of damage to bases, but because Team 2 saw the artillery and went, I don't want to deal with this, and left. I mean, the artillery did have a huge impact on the game because of that. And there's, 4 artillery pieces here for Puck Jr. going for his 5th, like he said. That thing almost done. Well, it's already almost half done. But I don't really know if one person got overall MVP. I just think there were a lot of good things that happened during the match. But Team 2's ASFs, I mean, they were stacking up quite high. And I'm just surprised that they didn't use more bombers, gunships, T4, not game enders, but, air experimentals, either the bomber or the Tsar. Maybe the bomber because it's a little bit faster to get in and out because there was a decent amount of AA built by Team 1 because Team 1 noticed that they lost air. So maybe that's why they didn't go for experimental in the air for Team 2. But I don't know. I just feel like the air opportunity was a little bit missed there. But anyway, let me know down in the comments what you thought about the match overall. Thank you so much for watching to the very, 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 very end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.